Okay, so today you guys are going to start thinking about molarity and do a lab to kind of help you visualize molarity. So molarity is a measurement of the concentration of a solution. So in other words, how much solute is dissolved in our solution, or how much compared to our solvent. Okay, so we're going to be kind of comparing those two, kind of looking at a ratio of those. So if you think about something that has a strong concentration, like if you're making Kool-Aid and you put a lot of powder in and it was grape, it'd be really dark purple, it would smell really grapey, that would have a high molarity. If you had something that was just a weak pale Kool-Aid, you didn't put very much powder in, then it would have a low molarity. So this will kind of give you some representation of that. So if you guys go ahead and click on the link for the PhET Lab, the first thing you're going to be doing is figuring out whether or not a solution is saturated or unsaturated. So saturated means that it's dissolved the max amount that it can at that certain temperature. Unsaturated means that I could dissolve more. Okay, so that's what we've been talking about with that graph. So I could dissolve more in it than it allows. It's not all the way saturated. Think about a sponge holding as much as it can. Okay, so you're going to go up to the simulator. You'll see that there's a drop-down menu that has all of these different solutions. The first thing you're going to do is just click through those and see whether or not it tells you the solution is saturated or unsaturated. Okay, so let's go ahead and just do one together. So if I go ahead and I'm on the drink mix, okay, so this is going to be the first one. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click for the solution values. Okay, just so I can see. So I have half a mole of solute in a half a liter. That's what the drink mix looks like, the color. And then I have 1 molar as my concentration. So let's see, like, how do I know if that's saturated or unsaturated? Well, let's go ahead and click down through and find some other ones. So if I were to try cobalt nitrate, looks pretty similar to how the drink mix was. If we look at cobalt chloride, you can see that one's a little paler, so not quite as dark colored. If I look at potassium dichromate, now I get a message that this is a saturated solution. So if you notice, when something is saturated, there's extra stuff in the bottom, meaning that it's holding as much as it can, it can't dissolve anymore. Think about a sponge that's already saturated, it can't hold any more water. Okay, so if you go down to your table for number 2 then, we're going to put that the potassium dichromate is saturated. Okay, and those, so you're going to click down through these, each of them, and decide whether or not you get a message that says saturated or not. So drink mix then was unsaturated. Okay, all right, so go ahead and go through there first and see which things are saturated and unsaturated, and kind of pay attention a little bit to the shading and how dark or light the different mixes are. Okay, so that's for number 2. Do that first, and then I'll post a new video for what you do for number 3.